The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to another great garment graphics webinar. Hope everyone's enjoying this fine day so far. It's a beautiful day here in Mentor, Ohio. Tad warm, but hey. My name is Andy Curtis, and it is my pleasure to bring you this Profiting from Back to School webinar. The presentation today is by Stahl's Transfer Express. As we go through the webinar today, if you have any questions about anything that I'm talking about, please feel free to ask. If I do not manage to talk for a full 45 minutes, then we'll address your questions at the end. If I do talk the whole time, then any questions you ask that we don't get to, we will email you afterwards. So feel free to ask, and we'll do the best we can to get to you. In the meantime, though, as I said, welcome. The topic today is profiting from back to school. It's almost that time. It's kind of sad to think that summer's almost over, but coming up to the school year already. So on today's agenda, we're going to talk about a couple different things as far as the back to school topic goes. First off, how Easy Prints sells for you. We're going to talk about what Easy Prints are and how themselves. We're going to talk about how to print and order school uniform polo shirts. I know there's a lot of private schools, cats have the polo uniforms, so that's a very valid topic for everybody. How to organize and run a school spirit sale. I'll give you some ideas in that regard. We're going to talk about school sports, fall sports, the uniforms, the extras, all that fun stuff, and then some easy add-ons for schools. So a bunch of interesting topics today. And we'll break right into it with our first topic, which was Easy Prints selling for you, how Easy Prints sells for you. Now, it sounds corny to almost say it, but it really is the truth. And it's funny because when we go to trade shows at Transfer Express, or when we attend trade shows, we actually see this happen in person. The Easy Prints product really does sell itself. First off, the whole concept behind Easy Prints is we have a whole selection of pre-made layouts, like you see in this first one here with the Eagles, Compton High School. We have a whole bunch of pre-made designs, just like this. You take one of the pre-made designs and then you customize it using different clip arts, different text, different letter styles, colors, all that jazz, and you come up with your own customized version of that layout, like you see in step 2 here. After you've customized the layout and you've changed it to what you want it to be, you simply order it from us, and step 3, you wear it. You press those screen-printed transfers onto a shirt, and boom, you've gone from a pre-made design to your own customized design with your school on it. You can see there, Bridgeport Elementary Falcons. Now, we also have our idea book, which is a catalog full of these layouts, like you see on step 1 there, and the idea book really does sell itself. If you simply lay your idea book on your counter in your shop, or you take it to a school, even if you have a meeting with an athletic director, and you show people the idea book does sell itself. We actually see it happen every day here at Transfer Express. It's almost sort of funny. But once you've presented people with the ideas for the Easy Prints and in the idea book, you'll be surprised how it really does sell itself very quickly. So customized t-shirts, 1, 2, 3, really easy. Now, there's the topic, especially valid since today we're talking about back to school and schools in general. There's the topic of, okay, well, let's say your Bridgeport Elementary was the Falcons, but we at Transfer Express didn't actually have their particular Falcon head, or we didn't actually have their particular clip art on file. Well, that brings us to the next topic here of custom clip art. Most schools in this day and age obviously have their own mascots, their own little clip art bear or hornet or whatever their mascot might be, and they've got their own special one that's unique to their school. Now, at Transfer Express, we have a lot of different mascots on file, actually, but it's obviously impossible for us to have every single one across the country, so no doubt you're going to come up against a school where their mascot is unique, and we don't actually have that clip art on file here at Transfer Express. So what we've done is we've come up with a way for you to use that custom clip art without actually having to pay custom pricing all the time. That's what we're looking at here. We have custom clip arts, they're called. The concept here is step 1, you see in this first part right here, step 1 is you order the design as an Easy Prints Plus. Now, Easy Prints Plus refers to artwork that is not our artwork that our graphic design department has to draw. So in this example, we're looking at this Bears Seniors, Southview Bears Senior order. This is a piece of custom artwork that a customer sent to us with their custom bear head. You see there, that's not our bear head, that was their school's bear head. So they paid custom pricing to have this particular design done. And then because they're going to use this bear much more in the future, I mean, if they have a contract with Southview High School, for example, that bear head's going to be on everything from the marching band to the football team to the cheerleaders. So it's obviously behooves this customer to not pay custom pricing every time they want to use this bear head. So what we've done is the customer requests an archive. They request the bear be made into a piece of custom clip art. What will happen then is we'll complete your custom order, we'll draw your bear head, and then for an extra $15, we'll actually save that bear head as a piece of clip art that can be used in our system. We'll assign that bear head, or any other mascot, just the bear in the example here, we'll assign that mascot a unique clip art number that is accessible only to you, the customer. It's not accessible to anybody else. And then you can import that clip art into any of our designs. So in the final part of the example over here, you see our layout, which is QMU57. You see our layout here, and we've taken that bear that we just archived, and we've inserted him into our layout. So now this customer was able to produce more product for Southview High School, but they didn't have to pay custom pricing because they used their custom bear. They paid the $15 to archive it, so then they were able to use this bear in this particular design. And now this is something we see a lot of, especially this time of year, because again, like I mentioned, every high school has their own special mascot. And even though at Transfer Express we have a whole section of cats and birds and popular mascots, if it's not the school's mascot, it doesn't really matter to them. I mean, every school wants their particular mascot. So. Now, one of the coolest new features of this whole custom clip art feature is that you can actually use your custom clip arts in our EasyView system. For those of you who have not heard of EasyView before, it's a computer online tool where you can bring up our layouts online and actually change the layout right there online and see what it looks like. Now in the past, you couldn't put your custom clip arts into EasyView. You could order them, but you wouldn't be able to see them before they were made. Now you can use the EasyView system to actually see your custom clip arts in a design before it's been made. So pretty new snazzy feature. Our computer guys were working on that for quite a while. So. Now, our next topic is school uniforms. Now, we do a lot of business with different uniform people and different companies that interact with schools here at Transfer Express. And we see a lot of these private schools, Catholic schools, that actually require the students to wear these types of polo shirts like you see in the photograph here. And what people don't often realize is how easy it is to actually accommodate these types of customers with transfers from Transfer Express, with just our plain screen printed transfers. So we're going to talk about some of the advantages here real quick. First of all, the cost savings. You can see in the example we've done Freeport Mustangs, private school here. We've done just a simple design out of the idea book, Freeport on top and the Mustang in the middle, and then the word Mustangs on the bottom. But we've actually gang sheeted them. You see here in the bottom, this bottom little photo here, we've actually gang sheeted 12 of those Freeport Mustangs per sheet. Okay, this saves you a heck of a lot of money. So now, if you were to print 20 of these sheets with 12 per sheet, that would give you 240 total pieces, which, of course, depending on the size of your school, that might accommodate, or that might even be too many almost. You can print 20 sheets, which gives you 240, and the cost is only 25 cents per print. 25 cents per transfer. So then you add on the cost of your polo shirt, and you can see the profit right there. I mean, it's almost surprising. So again, the whole catch here, if you're going to do these private school uniforms, you want to gang the images as much as possible. Now, it's always a balancing act because you don't want to make the polo shirt, you don't want to make the heart size for the polo shirt too small. You don't want to make it so that the details don't hold very well on the screen printed transfers. So you don't want to shrink it that much, but shrink it just enough that you can get between 9 and 12 per sheet, and that saves you a whole heck of a lot of money. Another benefit here is being able to print on demand. Now, all of us in this industry know that eventually you're going to have that customer that comes back to you and says, oh my gosh, I need 2 more polo shirts, I need 3 more polo shirts. And of course, obviously, we all know that onesie, twosie, stuff like that is often very difficult. But when you're accommodating these types of schools with these types of uniforms, printing those gang sheets allows you to order maybe 1 or 2 sheets of extras. And if you've got 12 per sheet, that gives you a lot of extras to work with. So when somebody does come back and say, oh my gosh, I need to order 2 more polo shirts, it's not the end of the world. You simply cut 2 more images off that gang sheet, and there you have it. So it's being able to print on demand without any fuss or muss is definitely a selling point to schools. We see this, again, at Transfer Express. We see this every day. We know that this is what schools are looking for. We know this makes a difference to them. So using transfers, giving you the ability to print on demand is definitely a selling point when you try to sell yourself to these private schools or any school that has uniforms. And of course, the last point here is durable screen printed quality. Now, we keep saying transfers and transfer. The word transfer used to have such a terrible connotation in our industry, but keep in mind at Transfer Express here, we're actually screen printing these transfers. We're not talking about 80s transfers that peel off after a couple washings. We're talking about actual plastisol screen print. So these uniforms that you're making, these polo shirts, they're going to last the whole school year. They're going to last the next school year if the child so desires. These transfers do last. They don't crack, they don't peel, they don't bleed. It is real screen print. So very much a selling point, especially in combination with the whole printing on demand thing. You're able to print on demand, and it's actual screen printed transfers. So all very, very valid selling points. Now, here's a topic that I don't think a lot of people think of. I think this sort of gets brushed aside, and people don't often realize this, but physical education uniforms are very much another selling point. And what's sort of funny is that these actually transcend the public schools, or transcend private schools, rather. The public schools need phys ed uniforms. I went to a public school here in Mentor myself, and we had these exact types of uniforms. Schools need these, schools stock these even, so keep in mind that phys ed uniforms are always an option for you also, even if it is a public school that doesn't have polo uniforms. And it's the same benefits we just talked about just a moment ago. You've got that print-on-demand ability because God knows that students do lose their gym uniforms, so school's always going to need more. If they've got 240 students, they're going to need more than 240 gym uniforms, and then who knows how many they'll need throughout the year from there. So the whole printing on demand thing is still very, very called for, even in phys ed uniforms. And again, you can tie it together. In our example here, you see we've got the Freeport Phys Ed t-shirt, but you can also see in this kind of the corner of this photograph here, we got a pair of shorts there. Sell the school the whole combination. Sell them the shirt and the shorts together. Make it a matching pair. It's easy to find the athletic T-shirts and the athletic short combinations in any of the different garment warehouses out there. So you can sell the shirt and the shorts together, the whole uniform. And then again, sort of building off of what we talked about in the previous slide, gang sheets are still a very valid point here also. You see in the bottom corner, we've actually ganged together the image that is used for the shirt and the image that's used for the shorts. See, the big image here is the image that's put on the front of the blue t-shirt, and the 2 smaller designs are the designs that's put on the leg of the shorts. So you can gang it all together instead of having to place one transfer order for shirts and one transfer order for shorts. Put it all together on one gang sheet. That saves you a load of money right there. And then the last point that we're making here, and I know we did this at my school back when I was in high school, you've got the name bars. I mean, at some point or another, you're going to misplace your gym uniform, or God forbid you get yours mixed up with your friends or something. You'll see a lot of these gym uniforms have these big blank rectangles underneath them. The point there is to actually take a permanent marker and write your name as a student or parent, whenever writing their child's name in that big white bar there, just to keep track of whose uniform is whose. And you can accommodate the schools that need that. We've actually in the past several days had several customers ask us that exact question here at Transfer Express. So it's very possible. Just whatever design you're doing, just include a large white rectangle underneath, and just with a plain Sharpie permanent marker, you can write a student's name right on there. So now, aside from polo uniforms and phys ed uniforms and such, there's always the school spirit sale. Now, this is easier to do than you think. It's more communication with the school than actual organization as far as putting together a spirit sale. And we're going to go through some of the tips here. And of course, every school is different. Every school system has different policies and what have you. So there might be little bits and details left off here. But just in general, when you're doing a school spirit sale, your first step is you're going to want to determine which organization you're working with. Are you working with the PTA or the boosters? Like who's going to benefit from your spirit sale? So that's step one, is organize it for a specific group. And the examples we've given here are the boosters and the PTA. Once you've determined a group to work with, or you know which group is willing to work with you, then what you're going to do is you're going to create your own profit source as well as a fundraiser for the group. For example, we're going to say we went with the PTA, that we're going to organize a spirit sale for the PTA. And we've agreed, and you're going to put signs up at the sale or make sure to include it on your flyers, that $1 from each sale goes to the PTA for our new playground. You could even bill it differently. You don't have to say $1 from each sale. You could say a percentage of each sale or what have you, and it doesn't have to be the PTA. Again, it can be the boosters, or it could even be specific sports. $1 from each sale goes to the Mentor High School Cardinals football team, for example. So that's part of, and yes, that does cut into the profit just a little bit, but this is what attracts people to the sale. This is what gets them to purchase. And then this is what creates some rapport between you and the high school, or you and the school system, to continue coming back. So something for just $1 per sale, a small percentage per sale, goes to whichever source, whichever organization you have decided to work with. Now, as far as organizing this type of spirit sale, contacts can easily be found online at the school's website. Now, we've used several different school systems in our area here, where we're based in Mentor, Ohio, just as examples. And a lot of the different school organizations, it's very easy to find whichever official at the school handles these sorts of things. The school's websites often have the phone numbers, office numbers, emails for different people in athletic departments or administration for the school. It's easy to hunt down who you need to contact at the school's website. It just takes a couple minutes of actually browsing the site to find it. And when you do find out who it is you need to speak with, make sure to be ready. Have a complete plan ready to go. Have yourself organized. Have flyers already made up, or have a flyer already made up. Have designs already made up. So when you do meet with that person, after you contact them, give them your idea, have stuff to show them. Don't go to them empty-handed. Have it ready to go and show them, here's the designs I've come up with for your Bellflower Elementary. Here's an example of one of the flyers. I'd like to donate X amount of money per sale to the PTA, to the boosters, to the football, to the basketball team, what have you. When you present yourself like that, the school can hardly say no in that scenario. So all good ideas for school spirit sales here. Now, tying directly in with the school spirit sales are obviously the flyers. Now, at Transfer Express, we've done our best to provide you with the tools and the means to get these sort of spirit sales up off the ground. And obviously, one of the things you need to do that is the flyers, like I mentioned on the slide before. Now, what we've done at Transfer Express is we have two different ways to do this. On the left, you see a pre-designed sales flyer. Now, what this is simply a piece of paper that you can print from our website over at transferexpress.com. You can go to our website and see a whole bunch of pre-designed flyers just like this, where you simply cut off the bottom portion. You see the bottom portion here has our company name on it. Simply cut off this bottom portion, and you've got a sales flyer. Boom, right there, back to schoolwear. It doesn't actually say Transfer Express anywhere on this top part of the flyer. It doesn't have our phone number, it doesn't have our contact info. So this is an easy back-to-school flyer. This is perhaps something you'd maybe want to present to the school administration as opposed to the students, but an easy flyer to promote to the school what exactly you can do for them. And you can see in this example, the flyer that we're showing you has band ideas, plus sports ideas, plus just general spirit ideas. So again, you can go to transferexpress.com. We have a whole page of these pre-designed flyers and all sorts of different categories, not just back-to-school wear. So this is one example of a flyer, but we've also, at transferexpress.com, we've given you the tools to create the flyer you see here on the right. Now, this is more customized. This particular flyer, you're actually given space at the top of the flyer here, like you see in the example, to put designs that you're offering. Okay. Now, the way this is done is simply by going out to transferexpress.com and using our EasyView tools. I'm going to bring it up here real fast and show you what I'm talking about. I'm simply going to go to transferexpress.com, and I'm going to log into the website here. There we have it. Now you'll just use your dealer ID and password to do this. I'm going to go to Idea Book Layouts. And let's say I'm doing a spirit sale, a booster sale for the football club, for the local football team. So I'm going to find football here under our sports section. Let's see, football. There it is. All right, and I'm just going to go with this very first design here. CS-1 has good football design. Now you're going to customize the design. I'm just going to use our local high school mentor here as an example. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to make it a multi-color design. Mentor's colors are red and gray. So my primary color red, secondary color gray, apparel color, just going to say white. So once I've made all the changes I want to make, I could come down here. I could change the football to something else. I could change the fonts. Let's change these fonts here. Let's do Gesture, let's say, for all 3 lines of text. Once you've changed your design up, you simply click the Easy View button. Give it just a moment to think here. There's your design. There's your mentor football. Now, it's simple just to, from here, right-click with your mouse. Right-click on this image, and you can simply save picture as. Once you've saved this picture, and of course you're going to have to remember where you've saved it to on your hard drive, you're going to import it into the design that I showed you here, the sales flyer that we have on our website. You can download the sales flyer, and then you can import the design you just did on EasyView. You can import it right into this spot like you see in this example. These 2 designs were done on EasyView and then imported right into the sales flyer. And then from there, you can adjust this text, obviously. For the example, we've said T-shirts $10 each, hoodies $20 each. Those are realistic prices. These aren't made up. We didn't pull these out of the air. These are realistic prices that students do pay. And this is, again, where you tie it in. If your T-shirts are selling for $10 a piece, you could advertise on this flyer somewhere that $2 from each sale will benefit the Mentor High Cardinals football team. So, again, this ties in with what I was talking about a moment ago. And then, of course, on the bottom of these flyers, what we've done is we've included with on the flyer a little section at the bottom where students can cut off the bottom, and actually they have a little order form there. So depending on how you organize this with the school, again, you can include the order form or not. But so the whole point here is at Transfer Express, we're doing the best we can to provide you with the tools you need to sell to these schools. So whether you're using these pre-designed flyers like we have on the left side, or you're doing these create-your-own flyers like you see on the right side. If you have any questions about these as you're trying to do them, if you are actually in the act of trying to do these, if you have questions as you go, please feel free to call our customer service department. Our dealer service reps will be more than happy to help you through if you have any confusion about how to download these flyers off our website or how to use them. So aside from just general spirit wear, we've obviously got the school sports part of dealing with schools. Now, school sports are probably one of the most profitable parts of our industry, of the printing industry, is just school sports in general. not only are there just a ton of sports out there, but bear in mind that every sport that's out there, you're going to need designs for the fronts of jerseys and names and numbers for the backs of jerseys. There's a lot that goes into school sports. So we're going to talk about just fall school sports because we are coming up. Again, it's sort of depressing to think summer's over, or almost over rather. But we're going to talk about fall school sports since that's what we're coming up to. So again, when you're getting in to a school and using the spirit sales we just talked about a moment ago as a great way to get your foot in at a school, by the way. Once you've got your foot in and you're able to start putting in bids on the school sports, keep in mind that it's best to start with the names and the numbers and the jersey decoration because that's what it breaks down to. Every jersey you're going to need a name, the numbers, as well as the jersey decoration. And when we say jersey decoration, we're talking about the front of the jerseys like you see on the cheerleader here, the front design, or a good example is the volleyball player down here at the very bottom. You've got the jersey design on the front. Now, if she were to turn around, you'd see her name and a number on the back. So essentially, you've got three separate elements to every jersey, the number, the name, and the decoration. And you see we've thrown a little note in here. We've actually just recently started to produce 6-inch 2-color numbers here at Transfer Express. Of course, we've got the whole line of other numbers, 4, 8, and 10-inch 2-color. We had just skipped 6-inch due to lack of popularity, but for those of you out there who are looking for it, we do now have 6-inch 2-color numbers. That being said, though, fall sports include things like football, cheerleading, cross-country, golf, soccer, volleyball. So you've got a ton of options, and this is just fall, mind you. We're just talking about fall sports. You have a ton of options, a ton of chances there to get in with these schools. And bear in mind, like I've said, each of these sports or activities, we're talking name on the back, number on the back, and design on the front. Generally, obviously, cheerleaders don't have numbers, but and golf team, they might not have numbers either, for that matter. But at the very least, we're talking about a name on the back and a design on the front. So this is the staple. This is the main portion of any school sport is the jerseys. And now, again, just using the schools in our area as an example, uniforms are typically ordered by the athletic director. So bear that in mind when you're looking through a list of employees at a school or you're trying to figure out who to contact. The athletic director is the person who normally handles uniforms. So when you approach this athletic director, just bear in mind that things you're looking for, the things you're going to sell to this person are generally names, numbers, and jersey decoration. Okay, some kind of front for the jerseys. But obviously, jerseys aren't the only thing. There's more to it than just the jerseys. And this is sort of what's funny, is people who are new to our industry don't often realize that the jerseys are just one part of it. Once you've got your foot in, you've actually managed to do a spirit sale, and maybe you've provided jerseys for the football team. Once you've provided the jerseys for them, they need more than just those jerseys. That's just the first part. That's the main part. After you've done the jerseys, there's other things that you can sell to these people too. We're talking team hoodies, Under Armour apparel, practice shirts, warm-ups, all sorts of different things. And keep in mind that we're not just selling to the athletes. You could be selling to the parents too. So once you've got the foot in the door with the jerseys and you've got that going on, it's easy to increase it exponentially from there. Any soccer mom can confirm this too. I know I'm not the only one that's seen this happen. Any soccer mom can confirm that even though your little soccer player or your little football player has their jersey, they are going to want the team hoodie because all the rest of the team's got hoodies. Take it a step further. You as the T-shirt decorator, maybe offer to put each player's individual nickname on the back of the team hoodie. So then you give the players a reason that everybody wants a hoodie. And warm-ups, practice shirts, this is all valid for all these different items. And these are all items that you will sell, that the team will purchase from you. Okay. Now, also bear in mind that these types of items, unlike the jerseys, these types of items are generally organized by the coach himself, just like a school spirit sale. Okay. Use a flyer, make something up to show the coach and the kids what you can do. Don't just tell them I'm providing team hoodies or you can buy warm-ups. Make up a flyer, take photographs, make up something to show them, hey, here's the hoodies I got, here's the warm-ups I can provide you with. customize the legs of pants, customize shorts, t-shirts, hoodies, all that good stuff. And then bear in mind, too, as you're talking to the coach of the team about these different items you can do for them, bear in mind that the coach is the coach. They want to coach the team. They don't want to have to organize these apparel sales. So have it organized, have it ready to go, have the whole thing put together for the coach so he or she doesn't have to do anything. Just tell them what you're capable of, tell them what you can do, show it to them, and then be ready to go so they don't have to tell you what to do or where to go or any of that stuff. And then if you really want to get yourself into the school, if you want to show them that you're there for them, just like you did for the spirit sale where we gave a small portion back to the school when you did the spirit sale, do the same thing with the teams. Okay? Give a portion of your sales, 1 or 2% from every sale goes to the team as far as just, again, generating money for them. So not only are you getting profit, not only are you making money, but then you're also giving them a reason to come back to you. You're giving them a reason to continue to use you year and year again. So now, you've probably heard me on some past webinars talk about our non-apparel products. And with back to school season coming around, this is where these non-apparel products are really going to start to see a lot of use. With any of the topics we've talked about, whether it's the school sports or school spirit sales, a lot of these non-apparel products that we offer here at Transfer Express are very valid to these different topics. For example here, these non-apparel products, and what we're looking at on the screen is the window clings and the window decals. These products are the same artwork you just used for your jerseys. So for example here, we've got the Plymouth Devils, this far right-hand side. This design is the same design that the Plymouth Devils has on their jerseys, on the football jerseys, and on the practice jerseys, and on the track team's uniforms, and what have you. You can take that same design that you did with us here at Transfer Express for the jerseys, and you can have a window cling or a window decal made for the school, or not even for the school. And the examples you see on the left side here, we've done it for the cars. We've done window clings and window decals for students' cars, or teachers' cars, or parents' cars. So in addition to providing the team with jerseys and then offering them warm-up team hoodies, you can provide them with these options: static clings and window decals. Now, and just for reference sake, I know not everyone's going to be familiar with the difference between a window decal and a static cling. A window decal is like what we see at the bottom here, this bottom example. A window decal is a more permanent option. A window decal is meant to stick to a window surface or clear surface, and it's meant to stay there permanently. So where in the top left corner, you'll see a static cling. A static cling is meant to be repositionable. It's an actual piece of plastic that clings to a window or clings to a clean glass surface, and it can be peeled off and repositioned. Those are particularly popular. Those do sell very well as far as school spirit and as far as school sports go. And again, reason being, you can tie the team's logo in, and right with the design like you see here, the Trumbull Panthers, we've got the team's logo right there on the static cling because you did Transfer Express for the shirts. You can use that same artwork for the static clings. And this is where you can get creative too. Go a step further. Don't do just the Trumbull Panthers for the static cling. Make a specific static cling for the parents. Proud parent of a Trumbull Panther, for example. So just some ideas on how you can beef up those sales just a little bit. Now, our non-apparel products go a step beyond just the window clings and the window decals. We also offer, as you see here, helmet stickers. So in the example of football, being that we have a football helmet here pictured, if you've secured the business for the football team's jerseys, you've made their jerseys, you've offered them the warm-up gear and the team hoodies, and you've offered them static clings and stickers and such, no doubt they're also going to need football helmets. So what is a football team without their helmets, after all? So when you offer them their football helmets, when you put together that package, keep in mind that you can take it a step further. Okay, we've got a football helmet here in the picture, and we've got the team's logo done with one of our helmet stickers. But take it a step further and offer them sheets of reward stickers. This is a concept popularized, I know recently. I've seen these in Ohio State University and different local football teams, but offer these reward stickers. It's a series of just simple little stickers using clip arts that we have in our idea book here, that when a player achieves something like a touchdown or a sack or a tackle or a forced turnover, some big deal, some kind of something that should earn them some sort of recognition, give them a sticker for their helmet. So you can offer this to the team's coach. They can purchase just a couple sheets of these stickers. Again, this is easy to put together using our clip arts here at Transfer Express. That's what all these are. You see in the examples here, these are all our clip arts. And it would be very simple for you to simply sell them a sheet of each of these stickers for the kids' helmets. So every time they make a touchdown, they get a sticker for their helmet. And again, this is a trend that we've seen up and coming here. This isn't something we've made up. This is something that they are doing. This is something that the football players are actually doing. So not only can you provide the team with their helmet, you can provide the team with the sticker for the helmet, but you take it a step further and provide them with these reward stickers, just a way to cash in just a little bit more. And again, continuing with the whole concept of non-apparel and additions, not just for the team now, but we can kind of take it a step further and say non-apparel products for the rest of the school also. After you've done the team's jerseys, the football team, for example, after you've done their jerseys and their helmets, and you've done the warm-up gear, you've done the team hoodies, you've done the window decals and all that good stuff, we can take it a step further. At Transfer Express, you can also do banners and wall graphics. Okay, and that's the examples we've shown you in these pictures here. The first one on the far left here, this is an example of a banner. Now, every school can use banners some way, somehow, someplace, whether it's at their stadium or it's actually in the school or it's outside the front of the school. Banners can go everywhere. There's always a use for banners, and there's always different topics too. Like in the photograph here, we've done a banner for homecoming. Homecoming, Go Bears, Battle of the Wildcats. So just one example. Homecoming is just one idea. Of course, you've always got spirit banners and that kind of stuff too. Now, the banners that we do sell are for inside use or limited outdoor use. They do fade eventually. They are good high quality. We're talking the banners are vinyl. So it's not something that's going to tear in the wind, but it is not made for prolonged outdoor use for months and months at a time. The other two examples that you see in the middle and on the far right here, we've got wall graphics. Now, I'm sure everybody's heard of or seen the product called Fatheads, where we've seen life-size stickers of football players and famous athletes. That's basically what a wall graphic is. It's a fabric adhesive sticker that you can stick to a wall. It doesn't leave any smudges or stickiness. It leaves no texture. It's easy to peel off and reposition. They're real slick, and it's a great way to add sales to a team or to a school. For example, the football team, you could include stuff like you see in the middle here, Go Bears in their weight room. A real simple wall graphic, just Go Bears with the bear mascot, and great for the football team's weight room. Or, again, in the last example here, we've got Plymouth Devils, just general school spirit in the computer lab here. So easy to tack on these items, easy to sell these items, because you've already done the school's logo for their jerseys or for their warm-up gear, what have you. You've already done the logo. So now just include it on something like a banner or a wall graphic for those different areas. Just a couple more ideas here for banners especially, because again, banners you're going to need for every sport. You're going to have the football banners, but then the cheerleaders are going to need a banner, and then the basketball team or the track team, what have you. If there's a banner hanging outside the football field, maybe you got to have a banner hanging outside the track team's locker room, what have you. So banners are another way to cash in just a little bit more, because you don't know how many banners they're going to need. You have no idea how many they can possibly use. So it's a great thing to just tack on at the end of a sale after you've sold the football team on their helmets, their jerseys, their warm-up gear. How many banners can you use? Can you use any banners? You know, they're great for spirit. They're great for the locker room, so forth. So, and again, what we've done on this page is we've showed you how the 3 banner designs you're looking at are actually designs right out of our idea book. We've showed you here, for example, the one the cheerleaders are holding. This is our design, QMS 110. These people have simply taken this design, which actually, if you look at the design here, is a dodgeball design, as a matter of fact. They've taken this design and they've changed it to say, Bears Spirit, Let's Hear It. So again, our idea book is full of these types of designs where you can do anything you want with them. So they've taken this dodgeball design, turned it into a cheerleading design, and you see they've done it with the school colors, black and red. Same thing with the rest of these designs. These the 2 that you see on the right-hand side here are also designs out of our idea book where we've simply taken the school colors and applied them to the design in some capacity here. The Cougars football you see, it ties in with the cheerleaders' uniforms here. Their uniforms are Kelly green and white. We've included the Kelly green and white in the design. So it's simple to make these banners, to tie them right in with the school, to tie them right in with the sport. So this is bringing us to the end of the webinar today. If you have any questions about anything that I've talked about, again, if there's anything that you think of afterwards, of course, we all have those moments where 10 minutes after the event's over with, we think, oh my God, I should have asked that. If you have any questions, feel free to get a hold of us in any way, shape, or form. You can email us, info@transferexpress.com. You can always call us to our 800 number. Our dealer service reps will be more than happy to answer any questions you might have on anything we talked about today. By all means, go to our blog also, our idea blog at transferexpress.com. It always has more ideas, how to increase your sales, new items that we come out with, what have you. So please do hit the website, and especially if we go back to the Spirit flyers, to the flyers we talked about earlier in the webinar, if you have any problems or questions making those flyers, you have any issues, I know not everyone's the most computer savvy. Our dealer service reps will be more than happy to help walk you through how to download those flyers, how to customize them, how to use them. So please feel free to give us a call if you have any questions about anything of that. And just to plug our next webinar, I will be joining you folks again on August 18th at 2 o'clock. We're going to have a webinar, another Transfer Express webinar for cost-saving ideas for custom transfers. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of different ways to save some cash and make custom transfers at the same time. So please feel free to join me again on August 18th. Sign up if you haven't already. And you see on August 2nd, we do have another great garment graphics webinar coming up presented by Imprintables Warehouse. I think we have a minute or 2 left. If there are any questions from the audience, Nicole, if you're still listening, if there's any questions from the audience, we can answer for them.
Yes, Andy, we actually do have a few questions. The first one is, how can we get an idea book, and does it cost anything?
That's actually a great question. I should have talked about that during the webinar. The idea books, you can get a free black and white idea book simply by inquiring at transferexpress.com or calling our customer service department at our 800 number you would have seen on the previous slide at 1-800-622-2280. The black and white idea books are free, and if you do request one, we actually include not just the idea book, but we include the price guide as well as a whole bunch of test transfers for you to use with your heat press so you get an idea of what the product looks like. If you are interested in a more professional idea book, you can actually purchase a spiral-bound full-color idea book for $15. That's, again, inquire at transferexpress.com or our 800 number.
Okay, thank you, Andy. We have another question. One of our attendees would like to know, how long will your left chest transfer last on a polo shirt that is being worn every day, such as a uniform?
That's a great question, and I can actually turn to experience for this one. We have quite a few school uniform companies that work with us at Transfer Express, actually, people that's their whole business is these school uniforms. And generally, if a student is wearing it every day, as long as the parent's not laundering it some crazy way, you're not bleaching it every day, you're not doing anything to the garment that you shouldn't be, meaning you're laundering it just like a normal garment, it will last the life of the garment. It'll last an entire school year or 2 school years, depending upon how much the student's beating it up to. I mean, if we're roughhousing in it and you're digging into it and doing crazy things with it, then it may not last more than 1 school year. But in general, if you've got a normal student who's just normal wear and tear, these do last for at least a full school year, if not more than that, the life of the garment, essentially.
Okay, Andy, we do have about 3 more questions. Do we still have time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The next one was, how can we best line up a left chest transfer?
That's actually a great question, and it's funny. Employees here at Transfer Express will often come to the customer service reps and ask the same thing when inevitably we all do that for loved ones or for personal orders. The best way to line up a left chest transfer, we've actually got a great illustration of it on our website, to be honest with you, but to try and explain it, the best way to line it up is to use the collar as one boundary. If you draw an imaginary line from the collar straight down the shirt, and of course, if you're looking at the shirt, we're talking about the right side, obviously, because when you put it on, it will be the left side. So the right side of the collar, draw an imaginary line straight down, and then the armpit, the right armpit, draw an imaginary line all the way across to the other armpit. And where those 2 lines intersect is one way to gauge where your left chest transfer goes. Now, there's all sorts of different tips and tricks to do that. My advice to you would be to hit our blog. Actually, at transferexpress.com, we have a blog post on that. If you simply type left chest into the search box, you'll get a really great visual way to gauge that our marketing people came up with. So.
Thanks again, Andy. And we have a question that's been asked by a couple different attendees. They want to know, how do they price the banners?
Oh, the banners. Pricing banners, generally any of the products at Transfer Express, and this goes for the non-apparel products as well as the apparel actual screen print transfers, generally all of the products you can double the price as far as how to price it to your customers. Now, that's just general. Obviously, I don't know what your competition or what other people in your area are charging for the same products, so I can't say that that's across the board the best thing to do. But just in general, whether it's a transfer or a non-apparel product, you can about double the price or thereabouts. It might not be a 100% markup. It may need to be 80, 90% depending on what your competition does, but you can generally mark it up 100% depending on what you're dealing with.
Okay, thanks again. Then we have one last question. It says, how do you get a dealer number, and do you have to place an order first?
Another fantastic question, actually. To get a dealer number, you do have to place an order. Essentially, once you're prepared to place your first order at Transfer Express, we're going to ask you a couple questions just about your company and what you do and where you're located, address, that kind of stuff. Once we've asked you those questions, we'll take your first order over the phone, and then we'll assign you a dealer number at that time, and then we'll email you a password for access on our website. So it's kind of a all at the same time type thing when you're prepared to place your first order.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot, Andy. I had one last question actually to come in, and they want to know, what is the maximum number of colors that a Transfer Express does on a transfer?
The maximum number of colors actually is more dependent upon how many colors you're willing to pay for. If we're talking about a screen print transfer, we'll do as many colors as you need. Of course, obviously, once you start to get into more colors, it becomes more expensive. But the number of colors is more determined by how much you're willing to pay. And if we're talking about digital products like the banners and the stickers that you saw a couple moments ago at the end of the webinar, those products, it does not matter how many colors you have. Those can be as many colors as you can possibly think of. All right. Well, thank you everybody for your questions. If there are questions that we did not get to, then we will be emailing you after the webinar with answers to those questions. And thank you again, Nicole, for reading those questions off. And thank you everybody else for attending. And have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday.